I'd like to speak about an event that occurred in early September 2020. Indeed, I was having a major psychotic break at the time, and I was in a severely bad position in my mind. And I'd caused an incident whereby I was screaming in the street, and a man started following me and was calling the police like the sad specimen that man is. And so I walked up to him and punched him, which he thoroughly deserved. Indeed, it was about time someone did that to that man, and I am very glad I did. The thing is about this particular town that I was dwelling in Wiltshire at the time, it is a hive of police informants. And the people are basically like a neighborhood watch version of the Stasi, and it's thoroughly disgusting. And these people, they inform on each other out of envy and call it their civic responsibility. And it is an absolutely disgusting state of affairs considering the fact that the people they are informing on other people too, i.e., Wiltshire Police, are a disgusting network of human beings. And it's just causing chaos and fracture within society, this informant culture that has developed in the United Kingdom, especially in these little towns. Indeed, this little town had a particularly bad energy, and there were an awful lot of rapes going on. And I'd spoken a little bit in a video about the fact that the local networks of Wiltshire Police and a network of local roadmen were basically procuring young people for the barbershop mafia's sexual pleasure. And I was talking about all of this during a psychotic break, but that doesn't mean it wasn't truly going on. And after I had punched this sad specimen, I wandered back to my residence, fully expecting to soon be picked up by a cohort of Wiltshire's finest police officers. Indeed. So I was I went home and lay on my bed and smoked a cigarette. And the next minute, my buzzer was going. It was very kind of them to actually buzz on the door, fully expecting me to come down and answer the door. But I wasn't going to answer the door. I looked out at the front window, and there were about 10 of them out there. I was saying 10 of them for me? At this point, I was about 8.5 stone due to chronic amphetamine abuse and serious psychosis. So I was basically a waif. And I couldn't have fought off one of these guys, let alone 10 of them. So why the hell did they need 10 guys to come and arrest me? It's crazy. And so I just lay there, I went back and lay on my bed and lit up another cigarette. And the um the next minute they were actually banging physically on my bedroom door. And I decided, fuck it, I'm just gonna stay here. I'm not gonna answer the door. And I know they're eventually gonna come in, break the door down and arrest me, but I'm just gonna be awkward. I didn't offer any resistance, so they booted down the door and came in, and I carried on lying on my bed, smoking the remains of my cigarette. And 10 of them, led by PC James Spencer, who is a serious creep and had been following me around for months at this point. He seemed to have some sort of obsession with me. Very strange man. PC James Spencer of the Wiltshire Police Department, and he was leading this gang of thugs, or should we say, England's finest bobbies. But that is not the reality. And I just carried on laying there. They proceeded to approach me and physically grabbed me and bound my legs, even though I wasn't fighting these people at all, and handcuffed me and bound my legs again in two different places. They then proceeded to taunt me while I was heavily psychotic for half an hour. For half an hour, they taunted me and were pressing into their body cams, saying, "We are Mason Farrington's GRU." Now, Mason Farrington was one of the local roadmen who was involved in the procuring of these females for the barbershop mafia, along with the Wiltshire police cadres. And they were saying they were Mason Farrington's GRU. Now, sometimes when I'm psychotic, I say things about myself being a GRU agent, which I would never be anyway, but I just say it because it's funny to me. And they were speaking into their body cams saying, "We are Mason Farrington's GRU." Now, someone is seeing that body cam footage, and I'm there tied up, psychotic as hell, 8.5 stone, and thinking, what the fuck is going on here? And these are this mad, there's 10 of them. They don't need 10 people to arrest an 8.5 stone paranoid schizophrenic man in serious psychosis with a chronic amphetamine addiction who can't even, basically couldn't fight off a very small policeman, let alone 10 burly brutes. And yeah, so they're saying, "We are Mason Farrington's GRU." To begin with, Mason Farrington is a moron. And where do they get the idea that they are Mason Farrington's GRU? And this is what Wiltshire police are like. And they were basically repeating things from my videos, but switched round so that the blame was placed on me. And what is going on here? And like, it was just after the departure of Angus Macpherson as Commissioner of Wiltshire Police, who was partially responsible for the Novichok incidents. And the new police commissioner was, I believe his name is Peter Wilkinson, and he is a very heavily intelligence connected figure. And he had obviously authorized this in some way, being that this town was the location of the actual entire Wiltshire Police headquarters, which is funny considering the amount of narcotics, organ, and child trafficking that goes on the very street that Wiltshire Police headquarters is on. And so I've been talking a little bit about this, and then suddenly I was tied up by Mason Farrington's GRU. Wiltshire Police pretending to be Russian military intelligence operatives coordinated by a local roadman. Now, I am not quite getting this, but the fact is that all of this happened, and this was not part of my imagination because there's body cam footage that proves all of this. Now, what would happen if that body cam footage leaked? I wonder. And people ask me, why do you hate Wiltshire Police? I hate Wiltshire Police for many reasons, one of which I've explained in a previous video about it on this very channel, and also for this reason, and the fact that I was constantly harassed by them. Indeed, PC Miller, who I believe is a serial rapist, used to stop and search me basically weekly just for the fun of it. And he is a very sick, twisted man. You can see it in his facial features. Indeed, I'm not sure about this PC James Spencer. I just think he's got some serious issues with himself. And I also think he fancied me, which is very strange considering my appearance at the time. And it's a bit worrying considering he wanted to put me in bondage. So maybe I believe they were getting a sexual kick out of this. And I believe a couple of them were actually Green Lane psychiatric hospital staff dressed up as police officers, because I recognized a couple of them as orderlies from Green Lane. And there were 10, maybe there could have been 12, because more of them kept coming in and out. It was like a theatre incident. It was all very, very strange. Now, I'm going to leave it there. That was just an interlude. Interesting, though. Interesting concepts, all of this.